Hi, welcome once again to Senior Focus. I'm your host, Bill Adams. Senior Focus is a show designed for adults over the age of about 50, and we come to you through Armstrong's Channel 20 and 100. Thanks to Greg Roten from Armstrong, who puts the show on the air. Also thanks to the Youngstown Public Library. We're in the Austintown Library today, and we're going to be talking with Bridget Lackey. Bridget is from Mercy Health.
Yes.
And why don't you describe your exact title and what you do?
Current title is Community Health Educator. I am a registered licensed dietitian nutritionist by trade, and as the role in the Community Health Educator, basically going out into the community, helping to educate to make a healthier Mahoning Valley.
And this is part of, again, Mercy Health is a large health organization.
Yes.
And we think of doctors and nurses and all the medical hospitals.
Definitely. And when you're sick, and definitely Mercy is, wonderful at taking care of that.
Right.
But we also have the initiative to get out there in the community to hopefully do some preventative care, education, as well as then too, we have different programs that are out there to help you identify then if you are diabetic, what is your blood sugar running? If you have high blood pressure, what is your blood pressure currently running?
Right.
And then to get you on the right road for information and health.
So prevention is good.
Definitely. Prevention is wonderful.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to, take care of yourself, or a lot of things have to come together, but the better you eat and exercise.
In different parts, yes.
Right, the better you're going to be in the long run. Well, we'll get back to some of the programs that are through the community health education. But you have something that's really just brand new, some good news about, I believe it's called the Eating for Health in the Mahoning Valley?
Yes, it is a wonderful opportunity that we have. Youngstown Neighborhood Development Corporation and the Mercy Health Foundation of Mahoning Valley collaborated and submitted for a grant from the USDA, and they were awarded. And it's nearly $500,000 for 4 years to help with access to fruits and vegetables in our area to help support farmers markets, and especially for those participants that might be using food stamps, the SNAP benefits, to actually help that. And also through a program that we have through our Mercy Health and through our physicians, the fruit and vegetable prescription program.
Yeah, would you describe that? I heard about that or read about it, but it really seems interesting.
It's a favorite of mine. I love that program. Through that, and we've been very fortunate the past 4 years through grants from the Mercy Foundations that we're able to provide our physicians, our Mercy Health physicians, with prescriptions. And this is just, Bill, like how he might write you a prescription for blood pressure medication. He's writing you a prescription then to attend the farmers markets. And with that then you receive, with the ultimate goal of to increase fruits and vegetables.
Right.
With that then you receive a voucher to shop at one of the prescribed markets at St. Elizabeth, in Warren, and at Idora, and with that voucher you receive $25 free of fruits and vegetables. June through October, once a month, June through October.
So in Mahoning County it's at Idora?
Idora neighborhood, that's right there at the corner of Glenwood and Sherwood, and also once a month we hold a farmer's market right at St. Elizabeth's in Belmont.
And so who would they get a hold of? Their doctor? Or who?
It comes from their doctor. So their doctor needs to be a Mercy physician, which would mean then that they need to be a member of one of our family practice groups. And then it's just like, how the doctor would write you a prescription. So it's not something that you can sign up to be a member of this program, that particular part of it. But with this grant, there's also the huge Double Up program. So that if you do receive food stamps, that you can go to the farmer's market and instead of purchasing $30 of fruits and vegetables, you'll be able to purchase $60. Then double your money up.
Now is that part of the prescription, or is that applied to anybody?
That's a separate
So anybody that,
Yes, anybody that is a recipient can take advantage of that.
All right. And you mentioned, I think, during that, it's locally grown?
Yes, that's the main thing too then. So just think about it. It's averaged and estimated that the food at the average grocery store travels 1,000 miles to get to you.
Sure. Well, you read, Chile or some other country.
Definitely. And you just think, where's our, even if you're eating fresh, like where are the strawberries? Like face it, here in Mahoning Valley, we don't have strawberries in September. So it's, our food is traveling, but this food is locally grown. Some of it is organic, but the majority of it is locally grown.
So that's local farmers?
Local farmers bringing it in. So, fresh, no preservatives, prime quality.
Well, since, we all assume people know that fruits and vegetables are good for you, but why?
Why? Because they're packed with, all your vitamins, potassium, which is being seen as, a major player in good health to increase our potassium, especially when it comes to high blood pressure. We hear all the time to decrease the amount of sodium, but it's very beneficial to increase the amount of potassium in our diets, and fruits and vegetables are jam-packed with that. The antioxidants, the fiber that they contain, the vitamin C. It's endless.
Now, what are some of the vegetables that they may be able to pick up at the market? Some of those
it's
particular
definitely
ones?
Seasonal. What we're coming into now through the late August and September, plenty of tomatoes, zucchini, corn is there. The berries are still, the apples will be coming. Plenty of different greens, beets. And again, the flavorful, and even just fresh potatoes. You think of a potato, being Irish, they're great, but it's just unbelievable the flavor that comes from the freshness.
Right.
You don't realize, that 1,000 miles takes a toll on the flavor.
Well, yeah, I think for anybody who's had a tomato from somebody's garden,
definitely.
Like we have a neighbor who's kind enough to bring, excess. But that compared to the grocery stores, night and day.
Exactly. Same thing with apples, with beets, green beans. The freshness, it just can't be beat.
So are there things that are particular to seniors? You mentioned potassium as a needed nutrient. Are there, from your reading and from your study of our area, are there things that people are missing out of, especially seniors?
Well, I think the main thing with seniors that they have to take into consideration is the fact that you hear a lot of different information out there. And, not to cite someone's name, well, Dr. Oz, Dr. Oz is always touting, TV, something of what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what have you. The main thing that I think that is important for seniors is you need to take that into consideration, but you must consider yourself and your own health problems and your health history and what you can tolerate. For example, prime example is he touts the pluses and the benefits of cherry juice. And yes, cherry juice can be very beneficial, especially with urinary tract infections. And it's a great health agent. However, if you have any kind of gastric reflux, or if you're diabetic and have to watch your sugars, right. Some of those fruit products, to bulk up on those is not a good idea. So the main thing is that you take that information that's out there, but process it and think of what's best for you and how you can actually incorporate it.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned about the juices because, I think a lot of people think, well, orange juice, that's great. I'm getting vitamin C.
Definitely.
But you're also getting, probably 50 grams of sugar or something like that.
And your acid. So that's why it's important then that you read labels and look at those labels. And I don't know if you want to get into, but one of our healthy classes that we have coming up is Healthy Eating for You. And we offer those at all 3 different hospitals. So there's a selection either at St. Elizabeth or St. Elizabeth Boardman, St. Joseph as well. And one of the components of that is reading labels. The labels will be changing in the future, and they're going to be highlighting that area of added sugars. Because you're exactly right. When it comes to juices, there's a certain amount that's natural to it, but then many manufacturers are adding sugars. So that's why it's important that you read your label to make sure that it's just the pure juice. But again, another component of those classes also is portion control. Because portion sizes on juices is 4 ounces.
Oh, that's not even 8 ounces.
The 20 ounce.
Because a glass might be 12 or 16.
Or people have given up pop, so they're switched to juices. Yes, it's healthier, but calorie to calorie, it's about the same. And the 20 ounce bottles, those are single servings. Right.
And so, one of the things, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when you eat whole fruits and vegetables, it's better than the bottled sugar things because it helps you to prevent the sugar spikes and things like that.
True. true. It does. And, you know, many people, we hear a lot about juicing and making the smoothies and things like that. And those can be very healthy. Big thing is, and as one of our classes in Healthy Eating for You talks about, is portion sizes. How much should you be eating of those and drinking of those? Now, but Bill, the thing too to consider though is, for many seniors, if it's an option though between no fruits and vegetables or a juice, juice is fine.
That's fine, yeah.
But for others then that have access and have fresh fruits and vegetables, you're exactly right. The health benefits of the whole natural is so much better.
Right.
So much better. And then that gets into the whole added continuum of, well, I can just take a vitamin. Now that for sure is not, you know, no contest.
Right.
You need to have the fresh fruits and vegetables or a fruit and vegetable. Okay, whether it be in juice form, fresh, canned, what have you, you can't duplicate it in a vitamin pill.
Right.
It just doesn't work.
And again, those are things that you learn, or people could learn through your classes.
Yes.
About healthy eating.
Right. We have Healthy Eating for You, and again, those are offered at the 3 different hospitals on a rotating basis, and they're all free of charge, free parking.
Can't beat that.
Yes, can't beat that. So just call the number and, you know, get on the schedule. We have a variety of that. Then we also have our Health at Home program, which is a great program that helps people to realize what are true medical emergencies. Because timing is everything, and especially with our seniors and many of them living alone. And you feel funny and you think, oh, what should I do? Maybe I'll wait till, you know, my
don't want to bother
son
somebody.
or daughter comes home from work but timing is everything, especially with heart attack and stroke warning signs. You need to take immediate action. And that program, again, free, and everyone goes away with a 400-page book. It's excellent. That helps you to identify what are true medical emergencies, what are different self-care tips that you can do.
So it'll give you an idea that, you know, for instance, if you had some kind of a bee sting or something like that,
definitely,
you know, what to look for, whether, you know, you know, some people might know the treatments at home.
Right, and many are old wives' tales, too.
Right.
And I tell the story in the class of a nosebleed. You know, and what do you do for a nosebleed, and you know, and what your first instinct is, and then what, you know, the correct way is. The book gives us then evidence-based, proven, remedies for things, and self-care tips and medical information. It's not just what you're going to find out there, you know, if you Google something and what pops up. And that can be very misleading for people. So this gives us the right resources to use. I'm
glad you mentioned that about Googling, because I guess that's only as good as your background knowledge of a subject.
Definitely.
If you know whether the person, you know, that's on that Google, you know, when you do, just to let people know, in case you don't do this very often, but Google is just a search engine on a computer, and it'll bring up all these different articles about subjects. And so a lot of people turn to Google for health information, but it may not be valid.
Exactly, and there's no way to tell. And it might just be a testimonial from, you know, Joe in Tucson of something that worked for him. And again, there's no true way to tell until you're reading it through, and then you kind of get this little, you know, your antenna come up and say, is this really true? So that's why there's a resource for us, but it might not be, it's definitely not to be trusted. And unless you have a specific website and you know it's a trusted website.
Right. No, so for instance, you know, when you go to Mercy Health, you would have a website for the specific part of that for community health. Where people could look that up.
And on the calendar, and on the website.
Find all the programs and things.
Definitely. Yes.
Well, is it okay if we give out the phone number, or you want to do that? Go ahead.
Please do. All of our programs, you can be reached by calling 480-3070. Of course, that's 330-480-3070. And they'll get us in touch, get you registered, and explain more about the programs.
And specifically, if you want to, I guess you would be the person for like food discussions.
Right. I mean, I do the Healthy Eating for You. I do the Healthy Eating for You, Health at Home. We rotate that through different staff members. Lucky that on our staff also we have 2 RNs that are with us that do different education classes out in the community as well as our stepping out coordinator for exercise component, because it's not all just about, it's not just a one facet to health. It's multifaceted. So we also have our stepping out program, which is free exercise classes, and you can learn more about that also at that 480-3070 number.
Okay, so you can
those.
Just to recap on that, you can get not only health or dietary instructions and information from nurses and things, but you can also get signed up for free exercise.
Yes, we have Zumba classes, strength training, line dancing, so a variety. And with that then too, there's a healthy eating component, a recipe, food demonstrations, also doing, health monitoring, checking your blood pressure, your height, weight, percentage of body fat, health screenings associated with that too. So.
Well, one thing that I found helpful, and I don't know if this would help, hopefully it would help other people, but there are some good websites where you can basically track your own food intake. I think a fitness tracker might be one.
ChooseMyPlate.gov.
MyPlate.gov. That's okay.
ChooseMyPlate.gov. It's through the government. It's superb. I mean, if you have recipes, if you're wondering, then if you go to the farmer's market and you find different fruits and vegetables, you're thinking, what do I do with this? You can check on there. They'll have recipes. They'll explain too how to store the fruits and vegetables that you get. It also, if you're into doing all the tracking, writing down what you've eaten, it can do a whole array of examining all the different nutrients, what you're lacking, what you're, exceeding in, what you need more of, and give you some great tips. So ChooseMyPlate.gov is a great one, free, very easy to use.
And that would be something about tracking your food. You don't, you could do it, from here for the next year, but even if you did it for 3 or 4 days or a week, it would give you an idea of, this is what this food will do or not do, good or bad.
Definitely.
And then, I think it sort of gets you into a healthy habit, because you can, so in other words, you could see this has a lot of salt in it.
Definitely.
That something I eat all the time, but hey, or this has a lot of sugars. And that, you could fine tune your diet.
Right. And that's again too where reading those labels come in handy, to look at the different sodium contents, because it's surprising on where things have sodium and not all things. And one of the things that we talk about in there, and we examine different labels, cereals, for example. Like whenever you think of processed foods, generally you're not thinking of your, Cheerios.
Right.
That are in
that's
your cupboard.
Natural, yeah.
Exactly,
it's
and that's what the box tells us and everything.
Right.
We don't think of that. We think more of like chips and canned foods and, rice mixes and fast foods, things like that. Not your bowl of cereal. And again, they're not all created equal. Some might have 350 milligrams of sodium per serving. Some have 0.
Right.
So the importance of looking at the label, being aware, and that's what some of our classes can help people with.
And I was thinking about how great the fruits and vegetables program, again, your new grant to provide that, where you can substitute, say somebody, their snack between meals was chips or some kind of a ho-ho or, some kind of a packaged chocolate thing. Now, if you had a piece of fruit.
Definitely, or those little cherry tomatoes that are so popular everywhere in the grape tomatoes that, they're great, and all the fresh fruits that are available at the markets too, to make those substitutes. And there'll be information at the markets too to help people do that and learn about that.
Well, another thing that, again, I just learned from hard living was, well, not that hard, but I mean, as far as diet, it's good, I think, to space out meals. What I mean is like what they call it grazing.
Right.
Where instead of maybe skipping breakfast and then having a big lunch or big dinner, maybe only 1 or 2 or 3 meals.
Right.
If you have small snacks during the day.
And the key component there, Bill, is you said it though, small. Many of us struggle with portion control.
Right.
And a key component of that grazing, and that has been proven to help a lot of people, but the key is though we're talking small, like what fits in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, 200 calories maybe.
Yes, or 100 calories, not a bowl full of something or more, a bag full. And that's what takes a lot of people to get used to. That, oh yeah, I can have nuts. Well, we're talking like, 10, not,
half a bag.
Exactly.
Just keep eating it.
And we're talking about in their natural state, not dry roasted, honey dipped, chocolate, covered. So it's, it's nothing simple, other than eating fruits and vegetables.
Well, another thing I think, and I've heard the term mindful eating.
Yes.
Where, I've been guilty of this many times, where you sit on the couch and you watch television. And, you start eating snacks and, you don't even recognize what you're eating.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Yeah. Think about, when you go to the movies and you get that popcorn and you're just digging into it.
Right.
And face it, it's not of, best quality.
Yeah,
and we just
it's not good for you.
Or then, too, that we've, finished eating. And many people will ask, is there a certain time in the evening I should stop eating to be healthy? No. It's more about what is choices and what are the choices that you're making in that 8 p.m. till midnight range. Generally, it's not fruits and vegetables. Usually then we're going for the ice cream, the chips, the cookies, something like that. And it might be an hour after we've eaten and we're, hungry.
Right.
The whole concept with mindfulness is just being aware. How do you know when you're hungry? And how do you know when you're full? For a lot of us, those are hard questions.
Right.
And it seems to be when the plate's empty.
And it might be good, again, that goes into maybe tracking, at least for a while, what you're eating. Because you might find that, I was already up to 1,500 calories, and then I got the chocolate cake, and that was another 500 or 750.
More. Yes. But I think a lot of times what we find with seniors is, though, they're going for long periods of time without eating. And that's not good.
That's not good
That's
either.
not good at all.
Yeah.
The smaller meals often, that's why, sometimes there are the frozen meals, and often they get a bad rap. But again, looking at the labels, reading labels, they're not all created equal. And if they are a meal then for someone, then it's a plus. And you can add in, we often say canned vegetables aren't good, but if you rinse them off, you get rid of half the sodium.
Oh, good idea.
And the value of having the vegetable versus not is so much greater. Well,
we've had in the past, some of the food, like Meals on Wheels folks, and so they are required by, I think, their law, or by federal law and grants to provide, good nutritious meals. So people that are on those programs, those are good alternatives.
And there's some different home delivery programs that are out there. A lot of people too, now Giant Eagle has where you can just pull up and they'll load your groceries in the car.
Just show up and they hand it to you.
Go.
Well, you have to pay for it though.
Yes, and I think that's, the service comes with a fee too.
Okay.
But they have quite a bit of the hot foods available now too, where you can just kind of go down the line almost like a little cafeteria and choose items. And that's a good alternative for people as well. If they don't feel like cooking, aren't able to, that they can just reheat items. But that's, a healthier alternative.
How about if people go out to eat? Do you advise people to, just request no salt or, reduced salt and things, that type?
Depending on where you're eating at. Because, we often identify fast food as being bad. But frankly then too, what do we think then that like Bob Evans, Perkins, Applebee's, face it, a lot of those places are just reconstituting foods. Because think about it, how can they be, having all the different fish entrees and lasagnas and meatloafs and all these roasts and things like that?
They've got to
Their
preserve.
kitchens aren't huge. I mean, they're big, but they're not that huge out there. So it's important then to make wiser choices. And many have the senior portion size, which is available now too, so you don't feel like you're wasting a lot.
And there's nothing wrong with eating half or whatever and taking a rest.
Taking it home,
That's lunch the next day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So again, let's remind people about this as a brand new grant, $500,000 available. And how would they go through their doctor to get the prescription?
For that, as well as then just to visit the farmers markets, that if you do receive food stamps and you're on those, you are eligible for the Double Up program. And it's all about, increasing the access and awareness for healthy foods. And I believe we have a copy of the survey that's out there if people wouldn't mind going online and taking a survey from Mahoning Valley as far as their access
To food.
To healthy foods, right.
Okay, and where could they get that? Is it the Mercy Health website?
No, you have it.
Oh, okay, it'll be on,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes, it'll be
we'll have
on
that.
the line. Yes.
Yeah, and then as far as the community health education, which is through Mercy Health.
Definitely.
There's a team of you.
There is. Again,
And
as
you're all at St. E's?
We're all located at
okay.
St. Elizabeth downtown, but we go everywhere. Okay, so that's just our basic hub. There,
Right.
yes, many, parts of the puzzle with us. As I mentioned, there's, RNs that are there. Kelly Brown, Mita Pacheco Aerosmith is with us. She's also in charge of the Hispanic Health Program.
Okay.
We have Doris Bullock that's in charge of our Stepping Out program, and we're all led then by Ellen Ford, okay, who is our manager, as well as we didn't touch on our Resource Mothers program to deal with the infant mortality, to help pregnant and parenting women.
Learn about
it, transportation
health,
to their offices, health for the baby, just, overall education. So, yes.
And that's all available at the 330-480.
3070.
3070.
Yes.
Now, are there any other things that are coming up? I mean, I know, Mercy partners in the Panerathon.
Definitely.
Which is coming up.
Definitely.
That's a good health.
Huge event that's coming up. So encourage everybody to get signed up for that.
Right.
And if you've never attended, I mean, it's just something to see.
That helps with the Joni Abdu?
Joni Abdu.
Breast cancer.
Comprehensive Breast Care Center. I mean, funding in the past has created, and last year they launched then the Mammo Van. That's available out there in the community. So this will be, she'll be 1 year old this year at that. And we are just finalizing too for our fall program called Women in Touch.
Okay.
And this year it's going to be, our fall program will be on Alzheimer's.
Oh, that's
yes,
very timely,
yes. So we're looking at, still debating on the title of the program, and I'm thinking of, there's hope, okay, or all you need to know. But basically it'll be covering, what the latest research is showing, as well as what support is available out there for the Alzheimer's patient, as well as the caregivers.
Do you know where that'll be held?
It will be held October 18th at Mr. Anthony's and October 24th at De Lucia's in Warren. Now, there is a $20 fee for that because it does include dinner. So it's like dinner, and then a speaker from the Alzheimer's Association will be with us.
So both counties, you can, if you want to get the update on Alzheimer's.
You can get more information at 480-3070.
Well, I still have my Health at Home book from a couple years back. So again, that's available, and thanks, Bridget, for coming on. I appreciate it. Again, we've been talking with Bridget Lackey. Bridget is a community health educator. She's a dietitian. And if you want to know about food, she is the lady to go to. I've learned quite a bit today. And again, she has many programs throughout. And I'll just make one plug. You will go to groups, church groups and senior groups.
Definitely. So give a call. Yes. Go on the road.
And again, I'm Bill Adams. You've been watching Senior Focus. We want to thank Greg Roten from Armstrong's Channel 20 and 100. If you missed any of the show, Greg puts it up on demand on Armstrong, but also on YouTube. So you can just go to YouTube and type in a search, Armstrong Cable and Senior Focus, and you'll get to see the show. Until next time, thanks to you for watching.